Hello, everyone. So, last time I forgot to go live on Instagram. So, today I'm going to remember to push the live button so we can go live on Instagram as well because we are multi streaming right now, guys. Hello and happy Friday. It's Friday. Yes, it is Friday. We have made it to the weekend, everyone. How exciting! Okay, so today is going to be another fun topic. We're talking about belief systems and why your belief systems can sabotage your growth. And I know that you guys, whoever's been watching my lives for the past few days, is probably looking at me right now and being like, what's going on? Something that's a little different. Yes, I got my eyebrows done yesterday. I got them microbladed, and right now they look very intense. They're very dark and very thick, but this is not how they're going to look once they heal and everything. So yeah, they're a little bold right now. I'm looking like a little cray today, but it's okay. I still wanted to show up and I'm still doing my lives. Okay. So how's everyone doing today? How's everyone feeling this weekend? I really wanted to discuss belief systems because this has been, I would say this has been at the forefront of my mind, and not an obsession of mine, but something that's a fascination of mine ever since I discovered the power of the mind, and when I started learning about quantum physics, and I started reading books on the mind, like your mindset, your belief systems, how your thinking impacts your reality. I started studying Joe Dispenza, Napoleon Hill, many of the great teachers who have been teaching these things for a long time, basically talking about how everything starts in the mind. And the cool thing that we are seeing in the modern world is that we are seeing the bridge between science and spirituality, or science and God. And a lot of people think that these two things are separate. And my personal belief system is that these two things are one in the same. Because everything, and if everything comes from one source, then everything then is rooted in the same essence, if you want to call it that, right? The same energy. So we're going to talk about how powerful your beliefs are and a little bit more in depth. I did a live, I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday this week, and we talked a little bit about mindset and belief systems, but I want to go into a little bit more detail today about what is the science? What is really behind the power of your thoughts and your thinking? So let's start by defining what is a belief. A belief is simply a thought or thoughts that you continue to think. Any of us has the power to change a belief at any time that we choose. I want to give you an example because some people might be thinking beliefs, okay, I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or I'm a Mormon, right? How am I going to change my beliefs that fast? Yes, that's a religious belief, but that's not where beliefs end. In fact, every single way of thinking that you have around a certain subject, for example, if you believe that money is hard to make, that's a belief. We also have people out there that believe money is easy to make. So everything varies depending on the thoughts that you have and your experience when you were growing up, the society that you were raised, the things that maybe even the television that you watched as a kid. All these things impact your belief systems because the mind, one way to think about the mind is basically a program, a computer program. This is the easiest way to think about it because your mind, when you are young, starting literally when you are born, your body and your brain, your subconscious, is absorbing everything in the environment. And this is due to the fact that we need this in order to survive. If we didn't observe and take in our environment and learn how to then act, right? How to be in this world, we would not survive. So it's very important for us to be able to absorb things from our environment. But here's where we can get let down and things can not go our way. And that is when we are raised in environments where maybe there's a lot of people that have a lot of negative or limiting beliefs. And I'm just going to let you guys in on a little secret. Every single one of us has limiting beliefs. Every single one of us has a certain amount of traumas that we are dealing with every day, and we carry it, most of us, through our whole life. But how is it that we can become aware of our belief system so that we can change our outcomes? So how then, because here's another question that people have. Okay, I hear this term, beliefs become, or thoughts become things, and beliefs become reality. How does this happen? First of all, let's talk about frequency. Your thoughts have a frequency. In fact, everything has a frequency. Science has proved this. Every single thing in my environment, my cell phone, right? If you look under a microscope, everything is vibrating. Everything has a frequency. My body has a frequency, right? I'm vibrating at a certain frequency. In fact, a healthier person, someone who's very healthy and has a healthy mindset and healthy thoughts, is vibrating higher than someone who is sick and has negative thinking. Crazy, right? So your vibration is affecting everything. So with this in mind, I wanted to make it more obvious, right? How your thoughts that you're thinking, that you're choosing to think every day, are going to impact your future and the goals that you have for yourself. So this is kind of interesting. I probably should have thought a little bit more ahead of how to organize this, but here it is. We're just going to go with the flow today. I would say that the number one thing that we can do to become aware of where we are in our life and where our beliefs are is writing down on a piece of paper where you are at in these different areas, right? For example, where are you with your relationships? Are you happy? Are you satisfied with where you are romantically? Are you happy and satisfied with where you are financially? Are you happy and satisfied and actually achieving or have achieved your goal in your health? Because it's not always about necessarily having already achieved your goal, but are you moving toward it? Why this is important is because this is where people sabotage. If you are saying out loud or even thinking about a desire that you have, let's say I want to make $5,000 a month, but I'm not moving toward it. And basically, if I'm not moving toward it or I don't already have it, then that means I have belief systems and thoughts that are contradicting that desire and that belief and where I want to go. Because if you believed it, it would have either already happened or you would be moving toward it and it will happen very soon. It's literally that simple. And that is why you can take a look at your life right now and ask yourself, am I where I want to be and am I moving toward it? If not, then I need to become aware of my inner world, because something's going on in my mind that is blocking me from either taking the actions and then getting this result. It's literally that simple. So this is something that, like I said, I became aware of years and years ago. And when I was studying Joe Dispenza and I was learning about frequency and energy, this goes very, very deep, but I'm not going to go into this too much today because this can be, a whole entire week of content talking about quantum physics and how important that is. But we're just going to do the basics today of what a belief system is. And of course, I already gave you guys a little bit more in depth on what that looks like when it comes to frequency. Right? So how do we then change our belief systems if we know right now we're not where we want to be? Let's say that you want more money, but you're not really sure how to do it. Let's say that you are not where you want to be with your health, or maybe even in a relationship or single, or maybe you're not happy with your group of friends or your community. Where do we start? What do we change? Number one is that I would say, take out your journal, take out a piece of paper, use your phone on your notes, whatever you have, and write down what you currently believe about those categories of life. For example, I can use myself as an example. If I said, hey Jill, hey Joe, hey Bob, what do you believe about money? Do you think money is easy to make? Most people are going to say no, because most people believe that it's hard, right? It's also hard to work a 9-to-5. It's also hard to work double shifts. It's also hard to have someone else run your schedule and you have no freedom. So what's harder, right? Perception is what makes things challenging. So we're becoming aware of what we believe about money. Where does money come from? What are my beliefs around this? Same thing with your relationships. Here's what I hear from a lot of people, and this is what blocks them from finding good partners, from finding good friends, all the things, is that they don't believe any more good people exist. There's no more good ones out there. All the good guys are taken. All the good girls are taken. We live in a world now where it's harder than ever to get in a relationship because of Tinder, because we have online dating, because XYZ, right? What are you doing when you say this? You are limiting yourself because you are planting negativity in your mind. You will be limited to the degree at which you put limitations on yourself via your thinking, because your thinking turns into your beliefs. Let me share another story with you, because this will make it more real for you. 3 years ago, I decided that I was ready to be in a relationship. And I knew that I needed to change some belief systems because the results that I was getting were not what I wanted. And with that in mind, I figured, okay, clearly I don't have the answers, so I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Where do I need to think differently? Where do I need to change my habits and who I am so that I can then be placed around, one, the right people, and the biggest one is choose the right person. Because once again, examples I feel like make the most sense in stories in these situations. A lot of women and men have a hard time finding people, and it's not that they're not attracting the right people. It's not that those people don't exist or that they're not even around you. It's that you are choosing the wrong ones. That's often the biggest issue. Where does that come from? It comes from you. It comes from your fears. It comes from your negative beliefs. It comes from your traumas. So once again, everything stems from the mind, from your thinking, because your thinking impacts your beliefs, that impacts your actions. So we must become aware of where are we stuck, where am I blocked, and where do I maybe I want a better result, so I can become aware of the programming. Where's the programming in my mind? If my computer's not working, I'm going to upgrade my software. The same thing is necessary when it comes to our mind. If you don't like where you are, upgrade your software. Become aware of where your thinking has got you. You know that term, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If your thinking doesn't change, nothing changes. If your beliefs don't change, nothing changes. Because here's another way to see this. This is also metaphysical and very philosophical too, but really good to know. Your eyes are like projector screens, right? You can only take in from your environment a very, very small percentage of what's actually happening in reality. So what your brain does is it takes all the information that you think you're seeing, and it filters it out through the beliefs. So, for example, let's say I believe that all rich people are bad, money is hard to make, business people are scammers, whatever, right? A lot of negative beliefs around business. When I tell myself consciously that I want to make more money, my brain, when I'm scanning my environment, is going to block out all of the opportunities that are going to make me rich, because your brain already believes being rich is bad. Rich people are bad, right? So this is where we put ourselves in a box. We cage ourselves. We put ourselves in a situation where we can't move forward because we're consciously saying that I want this thing, right? Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to be in a great relationship. Everybody wants to have awesome friends and, be able to travel and have all this fun. But that doesn't mean that your subconscious feels the same. And something else interesting about your subconscious is that it is not logical at all. It takes everything you say as fact, whether it's true or not. You could literally brainwash yourself to believe that the sky is purple. That is how powerful your mind is. We see this with hypnotists, right? They can pull people on a stage and tell them that they're a chicken. They're subconscious. They're speaking to the subconscious. You're a chicken. Wake up, act like a chicken. They start acting like that. Like, that's insane, right? They start acting basically exactly how they were receiving the command. The command comes from your conscious mind. For those of you who are listening to this and you're like, what the heck is she talking about? What is the conscious and subconscious? Your conscious mind is your awareness. Let's think about it like your basic awareness, right? The part of you that's present and that can see and make decisions, right? Your subconscious is the 95% of you that is run on habits, on behaviors that you have learned over your lifetime. Everything about you, most of you, is a set of habits, patterns that is programmed in your subconscious. And like I said, this goes very, very deep, but we can't talk about everything today because it's going to be a long video. But basically what you need to understand is that your subconscious is running the show. And if you are consciously having all these desires for more stuff, for more quality of life, but your subconscious isn't on board, you're going to run into roadblocks every single time because your subconscious doesn't give a crap about your riches, your wealth, your financial freedom. It cares about your safety. It cares about being in a familiar place. It cares about doing exactly what you told it to do. And so because you have a program already running right now, which is why you have the results that you have in your life, it is going to maintain that unless you decide to give it a new command. So if you want a different result in your finances, you need to become aware of what's going on here that I need to shift so that I can get a different outcome. This, of course, isn't just financial. This also works in the areas of your health, your relationships. The same thing applies. Okay. So yeah, those are the main things that I would do is step one, become aware of where your thoughts currently are so that you can then know what you need to change, right? Step one, write down what you currently believe about money, about health, about relationships, about community, about everything that you're feeling stuck on. And then write a new story, a new script, right? What do I actually want to believe about business, about finances, about relationships, about my health? Maybe it was before that being healthy is really hard, requires too much discipline and too much time. Well, that's not that. I don't like that. I want to change it. So what I'm going to believe now is being healthy can actually be fun and I can make the time for it. And I now feel so healthy and energized, whatever. It can just basically be some form of affirmation that you can then use to change your thinking and watch when you consistently do this, because here's another key, guys, and very important step: consistency. If you don't do this consistently, you're not going to change anything. The subconscious mind is changed through repetition. You have to do something repeatedly in order to actually make a change. So if you want to see a difference in the results that you're having, you have to consistently show up with a new set of thoughts, which turn into beliefs. And then, of course, your actions are going to follow suit. If you want to do this 10 times faster, you start taking the actions now. And you do the mindset work as well. Because here's the problem that I see. Again, another potential roadblock that you might run into, and you may see this with other people. They want to make a change, right? We're at the beginning of the year. Woohoo, 2026. I want a healthy body. Let's go. We start going to the gym, right? People start going to the gym. They start, being pretty active in the gym and eating healthy for 2 weeks, right? By week 3, guess what? They're back to their old habits again. Slowly going less. And then all of a sudden by week 4 and 5, they're done. They've already lost the motivation, and now they're back to basically square one, which is not doing what they said they were going to do. Why does this happen? Because you haven't changed your thoughts, your beliefs, and your identity. If you do both of these things at the same time, magic happens. But you can't do one or the other, because a lot of people also get stuck in just the manifestation and the dreaming and the wishful thinking and the, I'm going to do affirmations every single day. If you're just doing affirmations every single day and your actions never change, your habits never change, that means you're not changing your subconscious, because your subconscious is literally the body. Your body moves when you change the subconscious. So if I really believe that I'm a healthy person, I'm going to take healthy actions. It's literally, that's how it works. So if you're affirming to yourself in the mirror every day, I'm so healthy, I'm so healthy, I'm so healthy, but you're never going to the gym and you're not eating good, it's not working. So what you need to do is you need to do both. You take the action and you work on your mind and you work on your belief systems, because now you have a powerful combination, right? Same thing with all the other things that I already mentioned, with different areas of life, financial situation, whatever it is. This is how we get ourselves out of self-sabotaging behavior, because hopefully you have either a good partner around you, some good friends, a good community that can help hold you accountable to this new version of yourself that you're becoming. Because here's another powerful key. Obviously, it requires discipline and consistency to become a new person, because as you let go of this old self, this old set of belief systems, right? Sometimes there's a grieving process, because you literally are letting the old self die. And a lot of people can go through grief. Some people even lose relationships and stuff, because you become a new person at a new frequency, at a new energy. And now if these people that you're around right now don't change, guess what's going to happen? An energetic shift's going to happen. And then if that person doesn't rise to meet you, or you lower yourself to meet them, they're probably going to fade out of your life, because that's just how energy works. We surround ourselves with the same type of energy, because that is literally science. So once again, the process requires accountability, because it's not easy to become a new person. It's not. If it was, everyone would do it, right? Everyone would be like, yeah, sweet, let me just be rich tomorrow and let me be a healthy person and all these things. But it becomes a lot easier when you understand how it works. If you know the process of how the mind works, if you know the process of change, if you can see the roadblocks ahead and put yourself in a situation where you're more likely to be successful, like I said already, put yourself in the space with people who have the same mindset, people who want to grow and who can hold you accountable. Hey, so-and-so, when I see you falling off, are you okay? What's going on? And maybe we need to have a discussion. Maybe we need to change our perception of something really quick. Maybe we need to change our actions. Maybe I need an accountability partner. That literally can change the game. That can be the difference between you failing and quitting and you being successful. So getting yourself around the right people and the right community is so powerful for that exact reason. You need to be surrounded by the right people, because energy is contagious. Positive energy is contagious, and negative energy sometimes is even more powerful and will tear you down even faster. So become aware of that, because that's very, very important if you want to be in the place that you want to be. So for anyone who's watching this and they're like, that sounds awesome, but I don't have anybody in my life that I can do that with. We have a community. That is why we created a Vibe community, because that is the space where we get to grow as a community, because together we are stronger. We get to grow financially. You get to learn more about yourself, about your mind, about belief systems. And on top of that, you also have other people who are doing the same thing as you. So you can push each other, and that you're in the right space, because once again, energy matters, right? The circle of influence that you are around, the people that you're around. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, guys. I just wanted to bring this up today, because I know that there's a lot of people that are dealing with basically sabotaging behavior, and maybe they don't even know that it's happening, right? Or maybe there's just things that you do and you don't know why, right? It happens And then you're like, holy crap, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Right? Don't guilt and shame yourself. Take a step back, look at it from a cold mind, and be like, okay, wow. I must have done this because I clearly have something going on in the back of my mind. There's something in that subconscious that is not on the same page as your conscious mind. And if you want to move forward and you want to be successful, then you have to become aware of that. Like I said, if you want to fight with your subconscious, you're never going to win, because its sole job is to keep you in the boundaries of that which you have decided already, which is the belief systems that you currently hold, the current identity that you have. Your brain's job is to keep you in that lane. So if you want to pivot, then you got to change the beliefs. You got to change the identity. Otherwise, you can action your way over here. Woohoo, I'm doing so good. Awesome. Guess what's going to happen? Your body's going to say, yeah, no, this don't align with my identity. Boom, bump you right back in your lane again. And your body's doesn't have any morality code. It doesn't say, oh gosh, but she's going to feel bad if I pull her back into this, or if I pull him back into his old behaviors again. The only thing it thinks is that it's keeping you safe and keeping you familiar and doing what you asked it to do. So that's that for a Friday morning. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that I like, guys. Call me old, call me boring. This is the type of stuff that I like. Growth, moving forward, more peace, and learning how to align myself with my subconscious and my conscious so that I can actually have a thought, have a desire, and then have the manifestation, because that's how it should work. Our life should be, we have a desire, we have a thought, we're moving toward it, and then boom, it manifests. And it can actually happen very fast. But the reason why it doesn't for most people is because there is so much resistance. There are so many beliefs that are not lining up with what you say you want. And guess what? That will never get you where you want to go. Okay? So I care about you guys, and I want you to have the life of your dreams, because we all deserve to be happy. We deserve to live the life that we came here to live. We're not here for a long time. In fact, we don't even know how long we're here. So let's make the best of it while we're living. You know what I mean? Like, let's have a time and make the best of our experience. And instead of surviving, we can actually push the boundaries and step into the thriving era. So anyways, let me go ahead and check Instagram really quick, because I didn't even look for any questions yet. So I don't see any. Sweet. Okay. I just have a few from my YouTube channel over here. Hello. Oh, wow. A bunch of people in even different languages. Well, hello from around the world. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for some more cool content. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys.